Dr. James, because he is using the wheelchair, I'm going to come to him down here. He doesn't have to come up on the stage, but we're going to have fun anyhow. Come on, Dr. James. We already talked about this race him and I are going to have tomorrow around the block. All right, I'm going to jog your memory. 1944, you graduated from Virginia Union University. Back then when you graduated, did you ever have any idea that you would become the president?
No idea at all. I came to Union to stay 2 years. I finished a junior college in San Antonio, Texas. I decided to complete my education at Virginia Union and leave after I got my degree and go to a seminary in Massachusetts. At that time, Dr. Richard R. McKinney was the dean of the School of Theology. He sat me down and said, "Allix, you stay here. Your future is here." I said, "Dr. McKinney, I plan to go to a seminary in Massachusetts." He said, "We have a seminary here." And he was my favorite ethics teacher, and I admired him so I took his advice. So I stayed those 2 years, finished college, went on to the School of Theology, and then after finishing the School of Theology, I did some graduate work at UTS. In the meantime, the Dean of Students job became available. Dr. Ellison, the first black president of the university, appointed me as Dean of Students. I stayed there from 1950 to 55. When Dr. Allen retired, Dr. Proctor became president of Virginia Union. He said, "Allix, you stay right here. We want you to be dean of the School of Theology." I said, "Geez, it's really changing my career." All right. I took his advice, and I stayed until Dr. Proctor became president of ENT, and Dr. Henderson became president of Virginia Union. Well, at that time, colleges didn't have a lot of vice presidents, but the state charter said you must have a vice president. So Dr. Henderson said, "Allix, I want you to be my vice president." All right, Dr. Henderson. So I had vice president and dean of the School of Theology. Well, Dr. Henderson died in 1970. Dr. Holloman in New York was chairman of the Board of Trustees. He called me the same evening that Dr. Henderson died and said, "Allix, I want you to be in the president's office Monday morning." That was Saturday afternoon. He said, "We want the faculty and everybody to know a continuity of leadership at the university." All right, Dr. Holloman, I'll take advice. And so I moved into the president's office over the weekend and stayed there as the acting president after he called a meeting of the executive committee of the board, and they named me acting president, and I stayed there from January to April. At the April board meeting, the search committee was out looking for a president. They interviewed me in several hours. And at that meeting, I gave my report as acting president, but just from January to April. Well, the trustees started whispering and murmuring. They said all kinds of things. Say, Dr. Holloman, may I be excused? I'll go to the restroom. I didn't go to the restroom. I want to get out of there. And so I left the meeting and stayed about an hour. And I came back, opened the door. Dr. Holloman met me at the door and said, congratulations, Mr. President. I say, sir, I have been in administration here almost 30 years, and that's long enough. So I will try to give you 8 or 9, more than 10. So when the 10th year came around, I said, well, this is it. I've had enough. And I resigned the presidency and became a professor in the School of Theology and stayed for 14 years. And that rounded up my career at Virginia Union, 46 years. And I came to stay 2 years, but I stayed 46 years. And then they named me President Emeritus. All right. In the middle of that time, the dean of the School of Theology resigned, and the president said, listen, we need somebody to act until we get a permanent dean. He said, we don't want you to step down from President Emeritus to dean. So we gave me a chance, Lord. So they gave me a chance for a couple of years, and I stayed there. And when the new dean came, I resumed my position as professor and stayed and taught for a remainder until I retired permanently in 1993. So that's my career. A strange career.
James, you began your career at Virginia Union as an assistant coach on Dave Robbins' basketball staff. By the way, Dave Robbins is here in attendance today. Let's give him a round of applause. Dave. What prompted you to make the move from the sidelines into athletic administration? Or did he fire you?
Well, we had great success with the basketball program under the leadership of Coach Robbins, and we were moving forward. And I never wanted to be a static person. I had goals that I wanted to obtain, and some type of administrative position was one of those goals. And when the opportunity came along for me to become Director of Athletics at Virginia Union University, I was fortunate to throw my name in the hat and to be selected.
When you talk about the moments that you're most proud of being an athletic director at Virginia Union, what are some of those moments?
Well, the one thing that I would be most proud of is the success of our student athletes. I always tried to manage the athletic program as a support system of the academic mission of the university, and not just something that operated unto itself. And so the success of the student athletes was something that I'm most proud of. And then the next thing I would be most proud of is the success of our coaching staff. We had a great staff. They worked hard, and it was great to see them be recognized and to be successful. I wouldn't be here today without the support of the great staff we had at Virginia Union. You know, anytime you obtain any kind of height, and the president said you didn't get that by yourself. If you look down, you'll be standing on the shoulders of a lot of other people.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that, of course, that you were on Dave Robbins' staff as an assistant coach there. You later became his boss. What are your fondest memories, and what do you remember most about Dave Robbins?
Well, Dave, probably the thing that we had a good relationship always, and when I became Director of Athletics at Virginia Union, there was a lot of skepticism because of the relationship that I had with Dave. And they always thought that some of the other coaches and other persons thought that I would defer to Dave because of the relationship that we had. But he was always cooperative and great to work with, as many other staff members that we had. And so we got along well. I always wanted to support the staff in a way, the coaches in a way that they would be successful. One of the things that I always said, I wanted to make their job as easy as possible, which meant that I needed to work a little harder. And so we did that, and the coaches had a great staff. Coach Taylor, I might mention him, was a great staff person. Commissioner McWilliams, she was on our staff. She helped me get here today. Marcus, who is an athletic director at Shaw University. And I can mention a lot of other people, and I probably shouldn't have mentioned anybody because I'll forget somebody and they'll be mad with me.
Is that it, James? All right, thank you. James Battle. See, he's got a haircut. Ben, you were born in Alabama. How'd you wind up in Richmond, Virginia?
Richmond, Virginia. I got there. Like you said, I was born in Alabama. You know, I went to a basketball camp that Charles Oakley had in Alabama. And I met my junior college coach that was coaching at the time at Tri-C, Calhoun Community College in Cleveland. And he offered me a scholarship to come to Cleveland and play basketball. So, you know, I went up there, and actually my coach is here now, my junior college coach is here. You know, Jeff Warren, you know, came in to support me. And, you know, from Tri-C, you know, when I met Oak, you know, he gave me his number and told me that, you know, anytime I need anything, you know, a couple words of encouragement or whatever, you know, give him a call. That his number wasn't going to change, and he was going to be there to support me. And when I was leaving Tri-C, I called that number, you know, for the first time in 2 years, and he answered. And, you know, he called up Coach Wallace and say, you know, I got a guy that you might want to take a look at. And I think Coach Robbins' words was, you know, can he play?
Yeah, you don't want to just look at you, right?
and Oak said, well, I don't know how good he can play, but this guy's a man. You need to take a look at him. And, you know, Coach signed me unseen. You know, never really had a chance to see me play, but said, If Charles Oakley say you can play, then you can play, because Charles Oakley don't think nobody can play.
You talked about Dave Robbins and the success you had while a student athlete at Virginia Union University. What are your fondest memories of him as a coach?
My fondest memory of Coach Robbins is, basketball was, something that, that seemed to come natural to me. Had the size, had the strength, could run, could jump. Those was my God-given, ability, my talent. But my fondest memories is every day you hear this same voice every day. Man, you gotta go the extra mile, son. Man, you gotta do this, you gotta work hard. We know you're gifted, we know you can do this, but can you do this or can you do that? Just learning those life lessons that, at 18 or 19, you take it for granted at the time. But as you get older and you leave college and you start your career and you start a family, you still can hear that voice and hear those words of, you gotta be able to do this, you gotta do that, you gotta be a man, you gotta walk around, you gotta hold your head up, don't hang your head regardless of how your game went, it's so many other things that you're gonna do in life. Basketball is just a small part of your life. Never stop growing, never stop learning, just, stay humble and appreciate the things that you have and work hard for the things you want. And, he instilled those things in me when I got to Union, and, those are things I live by now.
You were named the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year 4 times in a 5-year span. Should have been 5, but your buddy Ron Artest got one of them in there. But anyway, what did it mean to you to get that type of award at the professional level?
It was a great feeling, man. It was something I didn't expect. I was going to go out, I was going to rebound the basketball, I was going to play hard, I was going to defend, because that's how I was taught the game, that's how I knew the game, and that's how I played. And to be rewarded for those things, it was a great feeling, it was a great accomplishment. Like you say, I got the award 4 times. You say it should have been 5. But, I give it up that 1 year I should have got it. They decided to give it to my good friend, Ron Artest.
Yeah, you shake hands with a lot, right?
Yeah, I called him this morning, check on him, see how he was doing.
Yeah, you really don't know if you don't know the story, I'm not going to go into it. It's a long story. But him and Ron Artest wound up in the stands one night. But anyway.
Well, yeah, but that year they gave it to Ron Artest. Great player, great defender. Worked hard. I admire the way he played the game, way he approached the game. But that year they decided to give him that award. Wasn't a problem with me because that was the year we decided to win the championship. So I
understand. That bit more, didn't it? Final question. You have 2 sons. Can they play?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
I don't think they have much of a choice right now.
They don't have much of a choice. Very good. Ben Wallace, ladies and gentlemen.
Came before me that I do appreciate y'all open these doors for us and giving me this opportunity to have a chance to play at the Virginia Union University, the CIAA. I am appreciative of everything that y'all did to help me get to this point. Y'all hard work don't go unnoticed. So thanks a lot, everybody in this room who had a part of, making the CIAA a success and giving us this opportunity to be here today. Thank you.